Ich freue mich ganz, ganz herzlich hier zu sein, dass ich die Möglichkeit habe, mit Hasmit ein bisschen Zeit zu verbringen.
Sadinal Betoye, Dr. Tauni Lanier, Jo Sadinal Gapshapkare, Kalakare. August today has graced the stages of the United Nations, is a sustainable finance expert and a systems entrepreneur, has started off her career as an investment banker, transitioned to companies like Dow Jones Sustainability Group Index, the World Business Council, and Impact 2030, just to name a few. Dr. Tauni Lanier gained an invaluable education.
I have a PhD in environmental economics and postdoctoral work in international banking.
Thank you.
In 4 countries.
You've ever personally experienced some parts of your life where it wasn't as successful, how it transformed to then lead on to something that was a stepping stone to something brighter you didn't even expect? Have you ever experienced that? Can you give any details?
I'm not quite sure that it's just one thing. And there's lots of things where you feel like, oh, this could work really, really well, and then it doesn't. And you think, okay, but how do I regroup? My best friend is a politician. Well, he was a politician, and he's now at the University of Oxford as a professor. And when he was a politician, he wanted to do things completely different. So one of the famous cartoonists, he's from Holland, so one of the famous cartoonists has made a picture of him, and he's walking, and next to him are his shoes walking with him. Yeah. And there's a very famous phrase in Dutch, is that sometimes you have to walk outside of your shoes. And I think that's what I like to do is, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I always like to try to walk outside my shoes to see, not in somebody else's shoes, but just walking outside my own, because you get comfortable in what you do, and sometimes you expect it to be a set way, and if it doesn't work in that set way, then you're like, oh, what did I do? What did I do wrong? And it's not necessarily that you did something wrong, or there was a mistake, or you didn't do it right, or it was going to influence you, but you need to take time to step out of your shoes and walk next to your shoes and say, okay, just reevaluate the situation and say, okay, it could have been differently. I could have done this. I could have done that. How could I have done that differently in order to make things different? So I would say that it's not necessarily a specific issue. Yeah. What I do is try to do a specific thing, and that is I like to walk next to my shoes.
That makes sense. And another thing as well, which you do find when you're in those moments of not actually realizing the expectations that you wanted, you also tend to experience a lot of negative emotions as well, which can be overwhelming. And I mean, personally as well, I've always felt unfocused when I feel overwhelmed. Do you ever feel that? And
overwhelmed?
Feel overwhelmed?
Yeah, all the time.
And how do you redirect yourself to, for example, to step out of your shoes? How do you overcome that negative emotion to make it positive enough to be able to be actionable on changing your path?
Well, tomorrow is another day.
Yeah.
Sometimes the day is just going to be really crappy, or you're not going to get as far forward as you need to be. As long as you manage your own expectations and others' expectations of what you can do, then tomorrow's another day. Sometimes you just have to wash your hands, go home, put on your pajamas, have a nice glass of wine, say, tomorrow's another day. It'll be different tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's it.
Expect time.
I mean, I'm a big fan of not wallowing in when it's a bad time, but I'm a big fan of recognizing when it's not so good, because when it's good, then you can say, oh gosh, it was crap last week or whatever. And it's the difference that you recognize, the difference in when it's really good and when it's really bad. And if you try to paper over when it's bad, you really don't know when it's very good.